Well, would you Adam and Eve it? AJ is back in action already, up against the man who nearly shocked the world, yes, the one and only Francis Ngannou. And sweet child of mine, this whole thing is an absolute madness, ain't it? Mad thing, you know, and I'ma tell you why. So let's dissect this colossal fight and everything surrounding it. A little bit of Zangmeister and Wilder on the undercard as well, maybe? Yes, fucking please. Right then, strap in. Well, first of all, we love it, don't we? But the boxing world is just a madness, innit? When Fury and Ngannou was announced, it received the biggest backlash we've probably ever seen. We were as angry as Joey Barton having to listen to women's fucking commentary. We said, I'll leave off, one of the best versus a debutant, double liberty. But now, AJ versus Ngannou gets announced, and most of us go, oh, alright then, okay, alright, fancy a bit of that, don't mind if I fucking do. Strange, innit? There we are. Well, I suppose at the time, Fury being a world champion, it weren't a very good look, was it? But ultimately, it all stems from the fact that Ngannou completely bamboozled us all. He may have lost the fight, but it was seriously close, and the moment he put old Fury down, the whole of the boxing world went, well, I'm fucked. So yes, we all underestimated him, didn't we? And I suppose we all forgot he is an absolute hard nut, old Francis. I mean, he's so hard, he don't even use bloody doors these days. He just smashes through the fuckers. He said, I'm not using that handle, fuck that. Fair play to the shopkeeper putting it on him. If Ngannou done that to my door, I'd say, oh no, don't worry about it, mate. It's supposed to do that. So yes, having said that, personally, I've got to keep the same energy. And I'd have preferred a bit of Zhang versus Joshy Boy, I'd imagine a lot of us would. But of course, that's a risk with no reward. The Hrgovic fight was going to be dependent on the IBF becoming vacant, and to be honest, by the looks of things, Hrgy don't want to fight anyone of note until he gets that shot at the world title, which is why he fought Mark fucking Demori. What a barnstormer that was. So if you break it down, Francis really was the best option for AJ and Edward. It is a very shrewd business move. Firstly, with all respect to Ngannou, on paper it's the easiest fight in comparison to the likes of Zhang or Hrgovic, and we've now got to include Parker in that mix as well. It's by far the biggest payday for obvious reasons, and yes, let's not forget, let's not split fanny hairs. Edward knows full well the implications on Fury's profile. If AJ were to go in and absolutely demolish Ngannou, it all lines up perfectly, baby. A knockout for AJ following on from the Wallen knockout is a very good look against Fury's lacklustre performances with them both. His draw power will once again become mega.
We just boxed a guy in Otto Wallen that really gave Fury a really tough time, and AJ went out and it was a mismatch. He demolished him. I believe we're going to do the same here.
Now, I said the other day with the Wilder loss, things might be a little bit quiet for AJ until the IBF becomes available, but there we are, more bollocks from himself. However, once again, another madness in this whole debacle is the turnaround of these mega fights. Barely 2 weeks after the day of reckoning, this gets announced. Barely 2 weeks after Fury and Ngannou and Fury Usyk gets announced. Not to mention the undercards are superb as well. Double turkey, you're a thing of beauty. I mean, this is a total guess, but if we say at the bare minimum Fury and Ngannou purses are around $50 to $60 million, then the day of reckoning, the main event's probably around $30 million at least. Then Fury Usyk reportedly around $150 million for both men. Then AJ and Ngannou, fuck knows what, another $50 million plus? Yes, well, we're talking at the very least around $300 million in the space of 6 months just on main events alone. And that's without all the Brit Awards in between, the private jets, the infrastructure, the production. They probably even pay for Connor's fucking Charlie. Bloody hell, we're talking over $1 billion. The money is just staggering. No wonder Frank's holding the double turkey's hand. I fucking would be as well. And by the by, the only person who probably ain't too happy about all this is old Ben Shalom. Double turkey's lacking interest in Benny Boy. He said, come on Frank, come on Ed, come on Wasserman, Salita. But no, sit down Benny Boy, you stay there. This is big boy shit. And if you're a boxer fighter, other than Bakoli, you might have the right ump you're getting snubbed in the Saudi world. This is why Fraser and Ben piped up the other day wanting a crack at Wardley, because they know this could be a Saudi undercard fight. But has the ship now sailed? Is it a backward step for old Wardley? Well, possibly. Anyway, so along with AJ and Ngannou, there's rumbles of Zhang and Wilder on the undercard, possibly even against each other. Oh yes, sign us up. Who wouldn't want to see that? As long as Wilder throws a fucking punch this time, it will be very interesting. But I've got to say, for old Wilder, I'd have thought Zhang's a much harder fight than Parker, and that was a royal fuck up. If anything, Zhang with his lethal power, his southpaw, his rock hard chin, it's absolutely all wrong for the Bronze Bomber, and especially the Bronze Bomber we've been seeing of late. The old psychedelic up in the rainforest, all fucking pilled up, happy hippie Wilder. He's like Neil from the Young Ones these days, ain't he? Heavy man. So yes, I'm a bit sceptical this happens, but double fair play if Wilder does take it. To be fair, he may be low on options. Either way, you can bet your bollock that Sillet Bang is well up for it. So let's talk about about the main attraction then? Well, first of all, after AJ's post about the fight the other day and Ben Davidson's reply, it certainly looks like them two will be working together again. I think we all expected that, to be honest. The absence of Derek James in the Wallin fight always seemed a bit suspicious, so roll on the AJ Ben train. Let's see how far it goes. Now, on the back of Fury and Ngannou, which is all we've got to go on, what does this tell us about AJ and Ngannou? Well, ultimately it was a very bad night for the Gypsy King. After the knockdown, he started to get a bit desperate and then kind of went into survival mode, mostly on the back foot, resorting to his boxing. We all know the biggest attribute for Ngannou is, of course, the fact that he is a huge puncher. In MMA, this can't be denied, and many feel that Fury backed off after the knockdown because he felt that power. But we gotta ask the question, did Fury feel the power and back off the remainder of the fight? Or did he just back off and resort to his boxing, knowing that $150 million was on the table for the Usyk fight? And if he got knocked down once again and lost, that fight and the purse may have gone down the toilet. He had no problem going toe-to-toe with Wilder 3 times. Does Ngannou punch harder than Wilder? I mean, surely not. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, obviously there's no way Ngannou can outbox Joshua or outskill him, and that big punch is probably the only thing that can trouble the Brit. But is it really going to be anything more than what AJ's experienced in the past? Remains to be seen. Make no mistake though, as we've seen, he will be able to pose some problems for old AJ. He is very quick, he was able to pressure Fury, he can switch orthodox to southpaw, and he clearly has a solid chin. Tough as nails being from MMA stock. So Joshua may need to absolutely pulverise him to keep him down, and like the Fury fight, with this being over the course of 10 rounds, Ngannou has shown he does have the fitness to go the distance. But the way things stand, in the sense that you're only ever as good as your last performance, it's easy to see AJ being way too much to handle. The speed and the power he showed against Otto Wallin will be a far cry from what Fury dished out on his off night, and I think it's fair to say that Joshua hits a lot harder than Fury. This alone could make it a whole new experience for Ngannou. On top of this, having seen what he can do against Fury, we are no longer totally in the dark about the boxing ability of Ngannou, so AJ will have the luxury of being able to study him when Fury couldn't. He and Ben clearly done this for the Wallin fight, which was a huge success. And finally, whereas Fury did come in with a lot of inactivity, only one fight in 18 months, this will be Joshua's 4th fight in only 11 months. A fight that he'll be going into looking to be in great form.
But is there a chance that Ngannou could be a banana skin for Joshua on his route back to world titles?
No. I just think that Ngannou had the best day of his life and Tyson Fury had the worst day of his life. And I think Anthony Joshua will, in this fight, show the difference between a mixed martial artist against an elite level heavyweight boxer.
So the cards do look to be heavily stacked in Joshua's favour here. Mind you, I thought that about the Fury fight last time, so I won't be counting my freaking chickens. But anyway, 3 cheers for Ngannou's bank account. He's had a fucking raver, ain't he? Good on him, he deserves it. Give us your thoughts below, and don't forget, people, to embrace your masculine heritage with the epic salient superfood blend Athanase, specially formulated for men to support male health in a multitude of ways. Use my code in the description for a cheeky discount. You'll bloody love it. Ta-ra for now, and bosh.